Okay, so today we have our lecture number 10, and in this lecture we will cover L4 and its assessment criteria. So after this lecture you will be able to understand testing and its types. Okay, so here we have the L4, be able to test a mobile application. So testing is very important. Okay, whenever we develop any application, any software, any website, so before launching it we have to test it. So testing is necessary so that we can check whether the functionality of the application or website or any software is good. There are the different options which we have made in the application, they are working properly or not, how is the performance of the application or website or any software. So to check all these things we have to do the testing of the application. So in this we will describe the testing methods used for mobile. Okay, so then we have test each user requirement and document the outcome. Then the indicative content for these all assessment criteria, we have the testing should include compatibility testing, which means running the application on different devices. We have to check whether the application is running on the mobile phones and tablets or not. Then interface testing, testing the navigation and menu performance. And low level resource testing means testing the application running on low battery, slow connection, mobile internet connection and Wi-Fi. So if these are low, okay, we have the low battery or we have slow internet connection, then whether our application is running on the device or not. So we have to check for this as well. Then security testing, so ensuring data is secure when processed on the application. And then beta testing, testing the application with a user focused group and getting feedback. Then the plan should make reference to the specific user requirements. Number one, okay, so here the user requirements which we have identified in the task 2, we have to refer to those requirements, and then we have to test each requirement. The outcome of this specific test should be documented, satisfy the requirements has been met. So whatever the testing we have, we will do, we have to document them. We have to make their documentation as well, so that we can keep the log of the testing evidence. Okay, so first of all, we have the assessment criteria. 4.1, describe the testing methods used for mobile applications. So here we have to describe different testing methods which we can use for testing the mobile applications. So testing, software testing is the process of evaluating and verifying that a software, product or application does what it is supposed to do. The benefits of testing includes preventing bugs, reducing development costs, and improving performance. So testing is a process in which we evaluate and we verify that a software, product or application which we have created or we have developed is doing the things or performing the functionality for which it is developed. So the benefit of testing includes, first of all, is preventing bugs. Like in the testing we can identify the bugs and we can fix them, then reducing development cost and improving performance. So once we identify the bugs and then we fix them, then definitely our application's performance will also be improving. Do you have any question till now? Then first of all, we have the indicative content compatibility testing. So in this, first we have the running the application on different devices. So we have to check the compatibility of the application, whether it is running on API level 4, API level 7, API level 8, or above. Okay, Android versions, like there are different Android versions. So whether the application is running on those versions from a low to higher version or not. And we have to check whether it's running on the tablets as well with mobile phones. So compatibility testing is a type of non-functional testing critical to ensure your mobile app works on various operating systems, devices, and applications network environments, and with particular internal hardware specifications. So specifically, we should know the app is compatible with different operating systems and their various versions: iOS, Android, and Windows. Okay, so we have to check for the compatibility with different operating systems. Then the app performs well with varying networks and their parameters: bandwidth, operating speed. So there are, for example, fiber optical network, okay, Wi-Fi. So these type of networks we have to check for whether on mobile data, okay. So these are the different network types which for which we can check the application whether it's working with mobile data properly, whether it's working properly with Wi-Fi or fiber, flash fiber, okay. So we have to check for different types of networks so that we can check whether it's working fine or not. Then the app is compatible with different browsers, for example, Google, Firefox, Safari. So we can check it through on different browsers and we can run whether it's working with these browsers or and it compatible with these or not. Then the app is compatible with different devices, for example, screen size, data storage. So we have to check for different devices as well. So some devices are having the you can say large screen, some are having the you can say small short screen. So we have to check for those sizes as well. Then there are also two types of compatibility testing to consider. First one is backward and then second one is forward. So backward testing the mobile app behavior with older software versions. Okay, so it means we have to check the application with the older version like 4, 5 Android version. Now I think there are 11 point something version is going on. So for 4 version, 3 version, Lollipop, Jelly Bean, okay, Kit Kat. So these are different Android versions. So we have to check for the older versions and then testing the mobile app behavior with new, including beta software versions. So in the backward, we have to check the application compatibility with the older versions, and in the forward we have to check the application compatibility with the newer version of the operating systems or mobile phones. Do you have any question in this slide? Okay, then we have interface testing. So in the interface, as from the name, we have to check the user interface of the application. So we have to check different options like they are in such a place that the user can easily access them, okay, and they are not too close. Different buttons and icons, they should not be too close so that one user clicking on one button or one option and it's clicking, it's moved to the second option. So we have to check for the interface as well. So testing the navigation and menu performance with interface testing, we can check any issues with the app's performance, such as freezing or crashing. We must evaluate the response time of our app to make sure that it responds quickly to user inputs and works without any lags or crashes. So we have to check whether the when user click any button, okay, so in how much time it responds to the response back to the user. So we have to check for navigation and menu performance. So like it in few seconds it is responding or is taking 1-2 minutes in response. Then we have load testing. It includes like it has further two types: load testing and then stress testing. Okay, then in load testing, this is used to test the load time of an app. You will want to simulate real life conditions by using a high number of users accessing the app simultaneously and measuring the response time of various features. So load testing means like at one time how many users can be handled by the application. Like if there are many number of users, okay, so then and they are using the application at the same time. So application is responding to them on the quick whether the application is giving them quick response or it's taking some time to uh, uh, give them the response. So we have to check the load testing as well. Like we have to check how many users at one time the application can handle easily and it does not have any effect in its performance. Then we have stress testing. Stress testing determines how much workload our application can take before it fails. Okay, so a load this shows like if there is a lot of you can say users at one time. Okay, so what is the peak you can say peak length or peak load on which after that if it's peak limit. After that, if it has more users, then application will crash. So we have to check for stress testing as well. So this type of application testing is done by subjecting the app to an increased number of users and tasks beyond normal work condition. It helps identify scalability issues and other areas that need to improve or need improvement before launch. So we have to check for stress testing as well. And in this case, we have to we have to engage more users to the application and assign more tasks so that they can use the application at the same time, and we can check like how what is the peak limit of the application which it can handle, and it will not crash. So we can enable scale it, and we can add additional support in this in the application. Okay, then we have low level resource testing. Low level resource testing means if we have low resources, okay, we have less battery, okay, low battery, or we are in the place where mobile data is too slow, okay, not working, or Wi-Fi is not working properly. It has low bandwidth and low signal. So whether the application will handle these resources or not, and will work on with these resources or not. So testing the application running on low battery, slow internet connections, mobile internet connections, Wi-Fi, then testing of memory usage, auto deletion of temporary files, and local database growing issues known as low level resource testing. So for whenever we install any application in our mobile phones, okay, so it creates automatic folders. But if we have deleted that application or uninstalled that application from the mobile, but those folders still remain in the mobile phone. So we have to check that how much data they are taking, data storage they are taking in the device, okay. And we have to check like if we are uninstalling the application, then its resources and all the data like there are temporary files, they should be deleted with the application. Okay, then we have security testing, ensuring data is secure when processed on the application. So definitely when we have made any application and we are taking the user's data, so we have to make sure that that data should be secured within the application. So we have to check for the security of the data as well. So as the name suggests, this type of testing main focus is security related issues such as authentication, for example passwords, authorization, for example specific user SSL encryption, etc. We should also test for other security concerns like data loss prevention, protection against malicious attacks or intrusion from outside source data may disrupt system functionality or lead to a data breach. So here we have to check for the passwords. Okay, sometime maybe you are going to create any account in any website, so they mention you like you have to generate more than 8 characters password, and it should include capital letter, capital alphabets, okay, small alphabets, numbers, and special characters. So this is how we are authenticating within the application. Then has authorization, like specific users or the users who has registered or with the application, they should they can only use the application. And SSL encryption, okay, this is a type of firewall which prevents the application from the outside cyber attacks. So we have to check for all these type of things in the security, and we should make sure that our application is more secure and it is handling the data of the users more securely. Okay, for any mobile app, uncompromised user data, security data, and privacy are a must. So testing for potential vulnerability is key to earning user trust and loyalty. There are several techniques and tools we can use for mobile app security testing. So okay, so again here we have to like data security and privacy is very important, because if we are taking the users data, it should be saved properly, and it should not be disclosed to any third parties, okay, to harm the users. So For this, there are also different types. First of all is network protocol testing, then static analysis and dynamic analysis. So first of all, we have network protocol testing. This technique helps to identify any issues with the mobile app's communication protocols to ensure that the app data is transferred securely over the network. So here we have to check the network communication protocols which are used within the application to communicate data. Like when we communicate through application, and application is responding to us, definitely there are different protocols, communication protocols used within the application. So we have to check for those protocols whether they are secure or not, and we have to make sure that all the communication should be secured. So as an example, you can say maybe you have seen in the WhatsApp. Okay, so whenever you are starting any new chat, so you have seen like there is a message in the chat. This chat is end to end encrypted. No one can see this chat, even WhatsApp. Okay, so this is one type of security of you can say network communication protocol security over the application. Then we have static analysis. Static analysis is an excellent technique to check for any vulnerabilities in the app's code. You can test and verify buffer overflows, SQL injections, and etc. in your app. Then we have dynamic analysis. So another important technique that helps you monitor and evaluate our application performance while it's running in is dynamic analysis. So this enables you to check network traffic, file system, databases, and more. So in dynamic analysis, we have to check we have to evaluate and monitor the application's performance when it's working, when it's running, and then it allow us to verify that the network, how much network traffic it can handle, and how the file system is within the application is working, and how the data is stored in the database. Do you have any question in this slide? Okay, then we have beta testing. Testing the application with a user focus group and getting feedback. So user focus group means like we have created a group of users, and we are giving the application to those users, or installing the application in those users devices. And then we are checking or asking them different questions, like they can install the application, and then they can review the application and give us feedback. So any errors or any you can say issues they found in the application, they can tell us so that we can fix them. So beta testing is an opportunity for real users to use a product in a production environment to uncover any bugs or issues before a general release. So again here, it's in the real time we test the application before releasing to general public. Then beta testing is the final round of testing before releasing a product to a wide audience. The objective is to uncover as many bugs or usability issues as possible in this controlled setting. So this is the main purpose of beta testing, so that we can uncover many bugs, usability issues before it actually launched to the audience. Then beta testers are real users and conduct their testing in a production environment running on the same hardware network as the final release. This also means it's the first chance for full security and reliability testing, because those tests can be conducted in a lab or storage environment. So again here, if we are conducting the beta testing, so it means we are testing the application in real environment with real users with real devices. So it's also a you can say chance to secure to check the security and reliability of the application. Then beta test can either be open or closed. In an open test, anyone can use the product and is usually presented with some messaging that the product is in beta and given a method for submitting feedback. Okay, so in this open test, anyone can use the application, and then they have provided the feedback form in which the users have to mention like what features they have, like what are the features they are not working properly, and what functionalities are useless. Okay, so load time, applications response time, so this type of information given in the feedback, and users have to mark the options as per their you can say experience of with the application. Then in closed beta, the testing is limited to a specific set of testers, which may be composed of current customers, early adopters, and all paid beta testers. Sometimes they are conducted by diverting a certain percentage of users to the beta site instead of the currently release. So in the closed testing, there is a you can say small group of people who are intended to test the application, and they could be current customers or early adopters or paid beta testers, and they you can say check the application and run the application in their devices and then give the feedback. Then we have 2.4.2 create a test plan based on user requirements. So here we have to, once we define all of the above testing types, we explain them. Then we have to create a test plan based on the user requirements. So test plan is a document in which we plan the testing, like what are the benchmarks, what are the criterias, or what are the options or functionalities which we have to test, and on what are the criteria to pass the testing, and what are the criteria if testing is failing. So in test plan we define all the things, testing the application with a user focus group and getting feedback. So first of all, we have test plan. A test plan is a detailed document that catalogs the test strategies, objectives, schedule estimates, estimations, deadlines, and resources required to complete that project. So these all are the you can say part of the project test plan, in which we include test strategies, like which testing we will use, which the testing methods we will use for testing the application, what are the objectives of the testing, then schedule estimations, like in how much time we can complete testing, then deadlines and resources required to complete that project. Think of it as a blueprint for running the test needed to ensure the software is working correctly, controlled by test managers. Then a well-crafted test plan is a dynamic document that changes according to progression in the project and stays at all time. Okay, so dynamic document is a document in which you are updating the document with the time or with the progress of the software or application testing. It is the point of reference based on on which testing activities are executed and coordinated among a quality assurance team. So we have made the test plan, and according to that test plan, we have to check the application, we have to test the application, and then we will see like how many activities we have performed as per the test plan and how many are left. So through this test plan, we can check the progress of the application as well. Then the test plan is also shared with business analysis, project managers, dev teams, and anyone associated with the project. This mainly offers transparency into quality assurance activities, so that all stakeholders know how the software will be tested. So once we make the plan, we have to share, like the teams can share the test plan to the all the users, all the stakeholders of that application, so that they can check, and they can if they want to add something in it, then they can give their suggestion as well. Do you have any question in this slide? Okay, then we have why are test plans important. So we have to discuss why the test plans important, because when we have the test plan, okay, it provides us a roadmap. So as a roadmap shows, like the steps or guidelines through which we can uh, move forward, and then we can complete a task. So here again, test plan is same like a roadmap. It provides us a detailed description of the different activities, and following those activities we can complete a proper task, or like in this case we can complete a testing with the different testing methods, and whatever the things we have added in the test plan, we can complete them. So they help individual outside the quality assurance teams, developers, businesses, managers, customers, customer facing teams understand exactly how the website or app will be tested. They offer a clear guidance for quality assurance engineers to conduct their testing activities. They detail aspect such as test scope, test estimation strategies. Then collating all this information into a single document make it easier to review by management personnel or reuse for the further projects as well. Okay, so this is the 4.3. Okay, we have just completed 4.1 and 4.2 from the slides, and the 4.3 is here in this document. Okay, so test plan for mobile app testing. So first of all, we have to, when we are writing the test plan for the mobile application, so first of all we have to give the introduction. In the introduction we have to give the overview of the application, okay, and in which we identify the what is the scope of the application, and what are the different functionalities we are adding in the application, okay, and what are the testing methods we are going to utilize or implement for testing the application. So A test plan is a document that describes the scope of testing, test strategy, objectives, efforts, schedule, and resources required. It serves as a guide to testing throughout the development process. Then, in the second part, we have to give the scope of the testing. The scope of work is defined as at the beginning of the testing process. A project team should clearly understand that features and functions there are to be tested and which ones are out of scope. To determine the scope of testing, the project specification, budget, and customers requirements should be taken into account. So scope basically means like if we have defined like 5-7 modules in the application, okay, but our budget is not much, okay, so we are just going to add from these 7 modules, okay, we are just implementing the 4 modules in the application, okay, 4 type of functionalities in the application. Then we have to plan the testing for those 4 modules, so that we're defining that these 4 modules are in this scope, and the rest of these 3 module are out of scope. We are not going to test those modules, okay, so we can add them, but we are not going to test because our resources, our budget, our time is not you can say enough for those modules. So we have to define the scope of the testing as well. Then in the second phase, we have to define the test plan and strategy. So first of all, we have to describe the unit testing. Unit testing mean we are testing each component separately, okay, we are testing the each button, okay, each text box, okay, each link, which if we have added images, okay, so these type of things are the options we have to check individually, and we have to check whether they are working fine or not. So the main objective of unit testing is to verify whether every unit operates as intended. A function, procedure, method, or even the entire module can be considered a separate unit. Unit testing can be conducted manually, but automated testing is a more common practice. So this is how in the unit testing we are checking each function, procedure, methods, okay, functions which we have you can say made through coding in the backend of the application for different buttons, different options, or methods are also functions, okay, so we have to check them separately. So this is called the unit testing. Then what is the entry criteria for this testing? The planning phase has been finished, okay, we have completed the planning phase. Then testable units are available, like whatever for the units, for the modules, or for the functionality of the application which we are going to test, they are available in the application. All functional requirements have been defined. So all of the requirements which are defined in the you can say for the development of the application, they are defined, they are completed, okay, they are implemented, then the test units environment has been set up. So like we have defined the devices on which we are going to test the components. Okay, then what is the exit criteria? So all planned test cases have been covered. All the bugs found have been reviewed. The performance of key modules have been tested. So these are the exit criteria in which we have all the test cases which we have defined. We have completed the test according to those test cases, and then the whatever the bugs or issues we have found, we can review them, and like we have reviewed them, and then we can fix them on and we can prioritize them first, and then we can fix them accordingly. The performance of key modules also has been tested. Then we have logging test and reporting. A logging test means like whatever the test we have completed, we have to log them. Log them means we have to add the screenshot and add their description, what is this test is for, and what is the outcome, and if there is any issue found there, so what is that issue and how did you resolve that issue. So like this we have to log the test, and we have to make the report. So developers fix the defects found in each unit. If these defects are related to other modules and units, they must be reported. Reported means they are also documented in the report or document. Then we after unit testing we have system testing. In the system testing we are testing the overall system, okay. So system testing is generally conducted after unit testing. The objective of system testing is to evaluate compliance of an integrated application with its requirements. So in the system testing, we have to check all the components, all the modules of the application. Like for example, if in our application we have client side area. Okay, the client side dashboard and student side dashboard, they are working fine with each other. Okay, and profile setups or search or summary dashboard, or you can say logging the motivation level through the application. Okay, so all these functionalities are working fine in the overall system or not. Then testing procedure. So in this test case preparation, so here again we have to prepare the test cases for checking, for testing the whole of system. Then text executions, bug reporting. So again, we have to make the test cases, then text preparation. Okay, so test cases preparation, then test execution, and then bug reporting. So again, same procedure is followed. We have to make the test cases, then we have to execute those test case. We have to test the application on basis of those test cases which we have prepared, and then we have to report the bugs. Then we have the types of system testing, in which we have a performance testing and then installation and launch testing. So first we see the performance testing. Performance testing is conducted to detect issues related to, for example, memory consumption, how much memory application is using, how much power it is utilizing, how much network it is taking. Okay, network connectivity operating in the background. Okay, if we have closed the application, whether it's operating in the background of the background or not. Switching between applications, is it easy to switch from one application to another? And then memory leakage, so how much memory it's taking. Then installation and launching testing. Then installation testing aims to detect whether there are any issues during the installation, uninstallation, and updating process. So whenever we are maybe you have experience, like we can go to the Google Play Store and we can install any application, so they does not give any errors, so we can install them. So for installation of the application, we have to check whether it's installation and uninstallation is fine, or whether it's giving any error. Okay, once the application has been installed, a quality assurance engineer also checks the launching process. So this is okay. Then we have the functional testing. So all the functions and features of the applications are tested to verify whether they operate according to the specification or not. Then security testing. Security testing is conducted to find the application vulnerabilities and prevent data breaches. So the things we have discussed in 4.1 and 4.2 for related to security testing and functional testing, we have to check those components in this type of testing. Okay, then we have to make the test report. So test report helps to summarize testing activity in a formal way. It should contain name and overview of an application. So we have to mention the name and overview of the application. In the overview, we have to mention what is the application for, and what is the intended audience, and what are the different functions or options or components or modules within the application. Then testing hardware and software environment. Then the number of test cases executed. Okay, then pass and fail. So we can make a table format, and we can mention the test case number. Okay, we can mention the test name, then we can say like we have executed this test case or not. Then if it's executed, then it's passed or failed. So we have to check for it as well. Then for each issue that has been encountered, the following information is provided: bug description, bug status, open fixed, bug location, steps to reproduce an issue. So if we have found any issues, then we have to document those issues as well, and we can like take these headings and we can add the descriptions accordingly. Then risks and assumptions. So here we can check for the risk which can occur during the application testing. So we have to also mention them in the report. The following risks may occur during the mobile app testing process: availability of devices, new features and modification which have not been planned in advance, changes in requirements, delays in schedule. So this type of risks can occur. Like maybe we want to test the application in you can say Android version 4.0, but that device is not available to users. Okay, like for example, the focus group users which we have considered for testing, they don't have that device, so we have to check for that as well. This can be occur. Then new features and modifications which have not been planned in advance. So the functionalities or features which are later encountered, and they were not planned in advance, so we have to enable them in the application, or we have to add them in the application. So this is also a risk. So changes in requirements. maybe changes of the requirements from the stakeholders. Okay, so we have to make the application according to their change requirement, then delays in schedule. So once we have new features or modifications or there is a change in requirements, so definitely it delays the schedule which we have previously defined for the completeness of complete development of the application. Then logging test and reporting. So again we have to log the test and we have to make the reports. Each detected issue should be properly reported using special tools and applications, then deliverables. So in the deliverables you can say what we are giving to the users, like what are the outcomes or whatever the actual things we are handing over to the users. So the list of testing deliverables usually contains test plan, test case documents. So these are the things which we can document them in a proper file, and then we can deliver this work to the you can say stakeholders or whatever the intended audience is. So this is how we can do the testing of the application, and there are different methods which we have discussed here, and how we can make them, how we can schedule the testing. Okay, so how we can log the testing. So all these things we have to cover in this 4.3. So do you have any question in this 4.3 assessment criteria?
No, no.
Okay, okay, then this is for today. Thank you so much for your time. We will continue this in next week. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Allah Hafiz. Take care. Bye.